And with your knees open, you're starting to relax through your hip joints. So if this were, I don't know, if it were a 6 a.m. class or a 7 a.m. class, I might not start you out like this, but I'm assuming that you've been moving around a little bit and this might not be too taxing on your hip joints. But you might be aware of a little discomfort. And the longer we stay here, like we're not going to stay here for the whole class, don't worry, but the longer we stay here, the more your body receives the signal that this is okay. And the ligaments and the tendons connecting your hips to your torso will begin to soften and loosen. If this is completely uncomfortable, you can straighten your legs. But we're going to work a little bit today around the concept of being enough. So I think I talked last week about the word enough and how it sometimes has negative connotations, right? We say like, oh, enough already, enough with the mask, enough with the quarantining, enough with that, I've had enough, this is enough. Or, I can't get enough to eat, right? So enough usually is a word that has a little bit of a negative connotation. And then I asked you to just kind of sit with the question of, what if this is enough? This meaning this life. And today we're going to take it a step further and just lie here for a few moments, contemplating, what if I am enough? So instead of always being on a quest to make yourself into something you're not, to set these super high standards of betterment, what if you just accepted the fact that I am enough? I am a good enough parent. I'm a good enough student. I'm a good enough professor. I'm a good enough human being. And just take a couple of breaths, perhaps inhaling the word silently, I am, and exhaling enough. And then slowly, with an awareness of your inner thighs, slowly start to bring your knees together. And then bring your right knee in toward your chest. Hold on behind your thigh. As you inhale, stretch your heel up toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring your knee in toward your chest. And then again, inhale, that heel goes up to the ceiling. Exhale your knee to your chest. One more time. Inhale your heel to your ceiling. As you exhale, stay here. And then maybe you lift your head and shoulders, walk your hands up to your calf or your ankle, staying here for a moment, maybe drawing that leg a little bit closer to your face. And then release your head and shoulders. Stretch your left leg out. Bend your right knee. Hold on to it with your left hand and drop that right knee over your left leg. So you're coming into a little bit of a twist. You're stretching your right glute. And then come back to center. Release your right foot to the mat. And then bring that left knee in toward your chest. Nice breath in. You stretch that left heel to the ceiling. And as you exhale, that knee comes into your chest. Inhale, heel to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to your chest. Inhale, heel to the ceiling. And as you exhale, you walk your hands up to your calf, maybe to your ankle, drawing that leg a little closer to your face. And stay here for a breath or two. Relax your head and shoulders. Stretch your right leg out. Bend your left knee, hold on to it with your right hand, and drop that left knee over your right leg. Come back onto your back, left foot's on the mat, right foot's on the mat, knees are bent, arms are at your side. Pressing into your feet, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, lift your hips, lift your lower back, your middle back, and your upper back, and stay here for a moment. Inhale, float your right arm up over your head, and as you exhale, release it down. Inhale, left arm sweeps up, exhale, release. Inhale, both arms come up. And as you exhale, stay here. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Take another big breath in. And as you exhale, tuck your chin, lower your upper back, your middle back, your lower back, and your hips. And then hug your knees back into your chest and rock yourself gently from side to side. Open your arms out to the side. Let both of your knees fall all the way down to the right. Allow your head to turn to the left. And observe in this first deep spinal twist how things feel in that left hip. What's happening in your low back. Inhale back to center. And as you exhale, both of those knees come down to the left. Your head turns to the right. Inhale back to center. And as you exhale, place your feet back on the mat. Lift your hips once again. And this time, slide your hands underneath you. Shimmy your shoulders a little bit. Your hands are clasped together. Your knuckles are drawing down toward your heels. Maybe those hips lift a little bit higher. Maybe you shimmy your shoulders a little closer together. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths, just getting a sense of opening your chest, taking a few big breaths, expanding that space between your collarbones. And then release your arms. Hands are going to stay at your side. Your palms are facing down. You're still in your bridge pose. Shift your weight into your left leg, lift your right leg up into the air, and hold it up there. Bend your right knee, foot to the mat. Shift your weight, left leg comes up into the air. Bend your knee, foot to the floor, lift your hips a little bit higher, float your arms up over your head once again, spreading those fingers, stretching under your arms down through your side body. Big breath in. And as you exhale, tuck your chin, lower your upper back, your middle back, your lower back, and your hips. Staying here for a moment. I want you to really establish a firm contact between your feet and your mat. So we're going to try to come to sit from this position. You're going to try to use as much muscle and as little momentum as possible. So big breath in. And as you exhale, lift your arms, lift your head, lift your chest, and come to sit. Or do whatever you have to do to sit up. And then once you're sitting, leave your arms where they are. Lift up your right foot, lift up your left foot, toes to your face. Slowly begin to lower your feet, tap your toes, and then slowly lift them back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold it. Open your knees, hold on to your feet. Lift your chest, kind of similar to that Supta Baddha Konasana when we're on the floor with our knees open like butterfly wings. But now you're in a seated position, uses a little bit more balance. Open your right leg out to the side. Open your left leg out to the side. Try to stay here for 3 breaths. And then bring your feet together, bring your knees together, arms come back out. Ardha Navasana, half boat pose. We're going to hold this for 3 more breaths. And then cross your ankles. Roll yourself up and over, landing on your hands and knees. Or again, do whatever you have to do to land on your hands and knees. Once you're on your hands and knees, start to think about engaging your belly so that your back doesn't start to drop down, right? When your core is engaged, you take that sway out of your back. Right foot comes behind you, toes on the mat, press your heel back. And then lift that right leg up, extend your left arm. Nice breath in, exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. As you exhale, your hand comes down. Your right foot drops over your left foot. You turn and look over your left shoulder. Take a couple of big breaths into your right side body. And then look forward, lift that right leg back up, look between your hands, step your right foot between your hands, slide your hands up onto your thigh, creep your toes out so that you have a nice little slope in your leg. Shoulders rest on your back, big breath in, and as you exhale, drop yourself down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop down again, stay here. So we're stretching that hip flexor on the left side. Sweep your arms up over your head. Interlace your fingers, reach up as high as you can. And as you exhale, trace an imaginary line across the ceiling. Look forward, release your hands to frame that right foot. Shift your weight back. You're on the heel of that right foot. Your toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Come onto your fingertips. Lift your chest. Big breath in. And as you exhale, creep your fingers forward. Surrender your head and chest. And stay here for a few breaths. Focusing your attention on that right hamstring, your right glute. Maybe you have a great sense of imagination and you can imagine that I'm going to stand behind you and hold on to your hip and move it back a little bit, deepening your stretch. And then look forward, flatten your foot, slide that right foot back, curl your toes, and begin to lift yourself to down dog. Come up nice and high on your tippy toes. Bend your right knee, left heel stretches down. Inhale, tippy toes. As you exhale, bend that left knee, right heel stretches. Inhale, tippy toes. As you exhale, both of your heels come down. And then another nice breath in, tippy toes. Exhale, plank pose. We're going to try to stay here for 3 breaths. Release your knees, flatten your feet. Step your left foot out behind you. Press that heel back, get that good calf stretch going. Lift up your left leg, extend your right arm. Nice breath in. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Extend, hold it. As you exhale, release your right hand. Left foot comes behind you. Turn and look over your right shoulder. And then look forward. Lift that left leg back up. Look between your hands. Step your left foot forward. Slide your hands onto your left thigh. Roll your shoulders back. So we're not moving our body forward. We're dropping down. Big breath in. As you exhale, drop that tailbone down. Hold yourself here. And then lift yourself back up. Another nice breath in. Exhale, drop down again. Sweep your arms up, interlace your fingers. Lift up as high as you can, like you're separating your torso from your hips. And then begin to trace that imaginary line, getting deep into that right hip flexor. Look forward. Release your hands, fingertips on the mat. Shift your weight back. You're on the heel of that left foot. Take a nice breath in, lift your chest up. And as you exhale, creep your fingers forward, surrender your head, surrender your chest. And use that little sense of imagination, like I'm putting my thumb right at your hip and moving that left hip back a little bit. Flatten your foot, slide it back. Curl your toes. Once again, lift your hips, down dog. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, plank. Nice breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Hover, hover, hover. Straighten your arms, plank. Lift your hips, down dog. We're going to go through that whole short little vinyasa a few more times. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, plank. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Straighten your arms. Hips rise, you're back and down dog. And then again, inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, plank. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Straighten your arms. Hips rise, down dog. Stay here. And then walk your feet to your hands, hands to your feet. Meet in the middle of your mat with your knees bent deeply. Your belly is draping over your thighs. Your head is heavy. You're stretching your low back. You're stretching the top of your hamstrings. And then begin to slowly straighten your legs. Bring your hands to your shins. Look forward. And as you exhale, fold forward. If your fingertips reach the floor, leave them there. And bend just your right knee, deepening that stretch in that left hamstring and hold it. And then straighten your right knee, bend your left knee. Straighten your left knee. Bend your right knee, sweep your left arm up over your head, turning to look up to that left hand, standing spinal twist. Release your hand down, straighten that right leg. Bend your left knee, float that right arm up over your head, standing spinal twist. Release your hand, straighten both of your legs, hands to your shins, look forward. And as you exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, drop your hips, lift your arms, chair pose. We're going to stay in our chair pose for a couple of breaths. So in your chair, wiggle your toes. Make sure you're taking the pressure off of your kneecaps. And then adding a little bit of balance work, bring your hands to your heart center. Shift your weight into your right leg. Lift up your left knee and hold it. Inhale, stand. Exhale, sit. Inhale, stand. Exhale, sit. Inhale, stand. As you exhale, stay here. Place your right hand on your hip, left hand holds onto your knee. You're going to open that knee up and then close. Open and close. Open, leave it open. Maybe you take your foot, bring it to the inside of your thigh, hands to your heart center. If you don't feel steady here, slide your foot down to your calf, or you can even release it to the floor. And then sweep your arms up over your head, relax your shoulders. Try to look up to the ceiling. And then look forward. Open your arms out to the side, point that right knee forward or left knee forward, and then stretch your leg out behind you as you lower your body down. Your arms can stay out to the side like airplane wings, toes to the floor, press your heel back, and then maybe you try to sweep your arms behind you. Bring your hands back to your heart center. Lift yourself up, step your feet together, close your eyes, take 3 intentional breaths. Once again, bend your knees, drop your hips back to your chair pose. Arms come out to the side. Nice breath in. Exhale, arms come behind you. Another nice breath in. Exhale, arms come out in front of you. Relax your shoulders. And then hands to your heart center. Shift your weight into your left leg. Lift up your right knee. Inhale, stand. Exhale, sit. Inhale, stand. Exhale, sit. Inhale, stand. As you exhale, stay here. Left hand on your hip, right hand on your knee. Open it out to the side, and then close. Open and close. Open, leave it open. Take your ankle, see if you can rest your foot at your inner thigh. And again, if that doesn't feel safe, take it down a little bit. We're working on opening our hips. So where your foot is, isn't that much of an issue as long as you feel that you can continue to move that knee backward. And now to challenge your balance, arms come up over your head. Relax your shoulders so you can stay here for a while. And then turn your gaze up to the ceiling. Look forward, arms open out to the side, knee points forward, and then you stretch your leg out behind you. And this time, maybe you try to sweep your arms in front of you. So those right toes are pointing to the floor, your heels pressing back, your arms are reaching out, you're creating a lot of spinal extension. Lift yourself up, hands to your heart center, close your eyes, 3 intentional breaths. Open your eyes, step your feet at least 3 or 4 feet apart. You're going to turn your toes out a little bit, heels in, and we're going to start to bend our knees coming into our Buddha squat. So your knees are pointing backward. You're sinking into your hip joints again. You're trying to keep your body upright, so you're not leaning forward, you're trying to lean back as if you're leaning against a wall. We're going to stay here. This helps to highlight the concept of I've had enough. And then slowly shift your weight over to the right, straightening your left leg. And come back to center, drop down nice and low. Shift your weight over to the left, straightening that right leg. Come back to center, drop down nice and low. Take a nice breath in. As you exhale, lift your heels up. We're going to try to stay here for a few breaths. Release your heels, zip your legs up, sweep your arms over your head, big breath in. And as you exhale, fold forward, relax your shoulders, relax your whole upper body. Allow the weight of your head to stretch your neck. And then walk both of your hands over to your right foot, putting your left hand on top of your right. And then walk your hands all the way over to your left foot, putting your right hand on top of your left. Walk your hands back to center. Maybe you heel toe your feet a little further apart and explore what it might feel like to just think about bringing your elbows onto the floor. And then hands come back to the mat. Put your left hand on your left ankle, right hand on your right ankle. Big breath in. As you exhale, slide your hands up your legs. Pause for a moment. Make sure that you don't feel dizzy. And then bend your knees. See if you can jump your feet together. Hands come back to your heart center. Close your eyes. So now I can't see if your eyes are closed. This is where you have to trust yourself and let me trust you. So with your eyes closed, see if you can shift all of your weight into your toes, like you're falling off the edge of a diving board. And then shift all of your weight back into your heels, like you're going to fall off the edge of a cliff. And then come back to center. Shift all of your weight to the outer edge of your right foot and center. Shift all of your weight to the outer edge of that left foot and center. Keeping your eyes closed, take your left foot and bring it in front of your right foot so that your left heel is touching your right big toe. And then take your right foot, put it in front of your left foot so that your right heel is touching your left big toe. And then one more time, that left foot comes forward, heel to toe. And that right foot comes forward, heel to toe. Pause for a moment. Bring your right foot behind your left. And then bring your left foot behind your right. And then right foot behind your left, toe to heel. Left foot behind your right. And then step your feet together. Keep your eyes closed for a moment. And then open your eyes. So for some people that you might have said, what's that all about? That's no big deal. For other people, that might have really been a big balance challenge. So we do these things with our eyes closed so that when our eyes are open, walking steadily is a lot easier. This is how we walk. We put one foot in front of the other. As we age, we begin to shift more from side to side. If you watch older people, they shuffle along. So you want to keep practicing that one foot in front of the other, right? That's how you maintain a poised gait. Sweep your arms up over your head, big breath in. As you exhale, fold forward, bend your knees, walk yourself or jump yourself to plank pose. So we're going to hold ourselves in plank. And then we're going to bring our right forearm to the mat and our left forearm to the mat. Tap your right knee and lift. Tap your left knee and lift. Right knee, lift. Left knee, lift. Straighten your right arm, straighten your left arm. Stay here for 2 breaths. Bring your knees to the mat. Sink your hips to your heels, come to child's pose, take a couple of nice breaths. So in your child's pose, you can always hold on to the outer edges of the mat and kind of push that mat away, getting your heels as close to your hips as possible. And then slide your hands back to steady yourself, flop yourself down when you're ready, and swing your legs in front of you. So that's just a fancy way to say, come to sit. So once you're sitting, your toes are pointing to your face. Your knees are squeezing together like you're holding a penny between them. Your spine is upright, your shoulders are relaxed, our arms are going to come straight out. Take a nice breath in, start to lean backward. And then as you exhale, begin to lean forward, almost like you're a seesaw. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, come forward. Again, inhale, lean back. Exhale, come forward, forward, forward. And then you hold on to something, whether it's your calves, your ankles, your feet. Take a big breath in, lift your chest. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, bringing your chest toward your feet, relax your head. Slide your hands up your legs, bend your knees, hands come next to you, lift your legs up, cross your ankles, bring your knees in toward your armpits. Stay here for a moment. Stretch your legs out, switch the cross, knees come back in. Stretch your legs out, switch the cross, knees come back in. Stretch your legs out, uncross your legs. Place your right foot on the floor, sit up, taking that left foot, bringing it on top of your right thigh. So we're transitioning into a seated, cross-legged position, left foot on top of that thigh, the big stretch for this left hip. This is where, I've had enough might come in. Maybe this is too much and you want to stretch that right leg straight out. Or maybe you're okay here and you gently guide that left knee down a little bit further. You sit yourself up a little bit taller. And then you sweep your arms over your head, take a big breath in. And as you exhale, leading with your chest, come forward, forward, forward. And if your hip is still happy, you can walk your hands over to the right side of your mat, putting your left hand on top of your right hand. Walk your hands back to center. Slide them back. You're going to take this left foot. You're going to bring it behind you. So we're getting into a big quad stretch here. Your hands are going to come behind you and you're going to lean back a little bit, right? You're going to lean back until your body says that's enough. And then you're going to think about this left hip bone. You're going to try to lift that left hip bone up a little bit and you're going to look over your right shoulder. Look forward, release yourself down, take this left leg, swing it over your right leg, and you're going to take this right arm, hug that leg in, left hand comes behind you, big breath in, sit up nice and tall, and as you exhale, turn your belly, turn your ribs, turn your chest, and look over your left shoulder. Look forward, release your arms, Uncross your legs. Windshield wiper your legs back and forth. And now you're going to take that left leg and you're put it on the floor. Right foot lifts up and comes over. So with your right leg on top of your left thigh, you hold on to that right knee, you guide it down gently, you sit yourself up nice and tall. Perhaps you say this is enough. Or maybe you sweep your arms up and drape your body over your thighs. And walk your hands over to the left side of your mat, putting your right hand on top of your left. Walk your hands back to center, slide them up, pick up this right leg, swing it behind you. Hands come behind you, you lean back a little bit. So again, you listen to this quad and you say, all right, this is enough. Maybe you can lean back a little bit further. And then you lift up this right hip bone and you turn and look over your left shoulder. Look forward, release yourself down. Pick up this right leg, swing it over your left. Left arm hugs that right knee in, right arm comes behind you. Big breath in, lift your chest up. And as you exhale, turn your belly, turn your ribs, turn your chest, and look over that right shoulder. Come back to center. Uncross your legs. Open your knees. Take your hands, bring them inside your legs. Wrap your hands around your ankles or your shins or your feet. Take a big breath in, lift your chest. And as you exhale, draw your chest forward as you release your head down. Again, similar to how we started in Supta Baddha Konasana. And then lift yourself back up. Bring your knees together. So before we lay down, I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about when I ask you to bring your hands into a hand mudra. So there are different mudras, and hand mudras just really represent, they're symbolic of different energies. They're symbolic of representing, different frames of mind. So we're going to come into something called a Chinmaya mudra. We're going to do it while we're lying down. But you're going to take your thumb and index finger, just like we often do, and draw them together. And then you're going to take your other fingers and you're going to curl them in. So basically, you're almost making a little fist, but your thumb and index finger come together. And that's Chinmaya mudra, okay? So first, bring your arms straight out to help you come down. Take a nice breath in. And as you exhale, slowly, 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 slowly release yourself to the floor. Straighten your right leg, straighten your left leg. Relax your shoulders. Bring your thumb and index finger together. And then curl those other three fingers in so that your fingertips are touching your palm in Chinmaya mudra. And Chinmaya mudra is the seal of manifesting consciousness. So what is manifesting consciousness? It's really bringing into your conscious something that you want to see manifest. So perhaps you consciously manifest the concept of I am enough. And when you're ready, you can begin to roll yourself onto whichever side of your body feels more comfortable. Slowly guide yourself back to a seated position. And bring your hands together now at your heart center. Take a moment to express gratitude towards yourself, right? Thank yourself for not only making the commitment to come to your mat this afternoon, but to follow through with that commitment and actually show up. And then take a moment to once again, just ponder the concept of what if this was enough? What if I am enough? What sense of acceptance, what sense of freedom would that bring to your life? So when you leave your mat and return to your world, do so with an awareness of that word enough. And every time you hear it, remind yourself that you are enough. Take one more nice, big, full breath in. And as you exhale, bow forward. Namaste. Thank you all very much for joining me this afternoon and for joining me this semester. We hopefully will all be in touch about what the final prognosis is on moving forward in the summer. Okay, I'm sure that they'll send out an email. All right. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.